Mabuhay! I'm Olivia Jordan, Miss USA 2015.
And I'm Nia Sanchez, Miss USA 2014.
And here we are in the Philippines. We are so excited to be here.
Yes.
This is my second time, so I feel like I'm like coming back,
Yes.
and I love it.
And this is my first time to the Philippines.
Yes. How's it been so far?
I'm blown away by the love and the kindness and the warmth of the Filipino people. This is the perfect place to host Miss Universe.
Absolutely. We were talking this morning saying we're a little bit jealous of the Miss Universe candidates because the crowd is going to be absolutely insane for preliminaries and finals. Let's get to business because the whole reason we're here is as your pageant insiders. So PLDT Home Fiber has brought us out to give you the behind the scenes, get to know the girls, and give you live updates as we go.
Yes, we are here to give you the inside scoop, everything from the girls' daily activities to what they're doing behind the scenes.
And also who we think is deserving of the title, because there's some girls that they have the heart for it and we want to give them a shout out.
Olivia and I are here to give you the coverage.
And you can follow along every single minute by liking PLDT Home on Facebook. You can get all of our coverage. We'll be there live, posting pictures, giving videos, and giving you the behind the scenes of who we're loving for Miss Universe.
Yes, and this would not be possible without the help and the support of PLDT Home Fiber, connecting world-class internet for world-class events.
We're so excited! Oh my gosh! You guys, there's gonna be a new Miss Universe.
Yes, but we're kind of sad. We don't want Pia to be done.
I mean, they have literally the biggest shoes to fill.
I know. I mean, can we keep Pia?
I may
can
be
we
biased because I just love Pia so much, and I got to be her roomie, but holy moly, was she not the best Miss Universe?
She was. All right, well, there is going to be a new Miss Universe, so make sure you stay tuned to get all the inside scoop and find out who it is with us.
And tell us who you like.
Yes.
Mabuhay! I'm Olivia Jordan, Miss USA 2015.
And I'm Nia Sanchez, Miss USA 2014.
And we are your pageant insiders. We are brought to you by PLDT Home Fiber, connecting world-class internet to world-class events.
Yes, and speaking of world class, we were just in Palawan. It's so beautiful there. Condé Nast actually said that it is the second most beautiful island in the whole world, right next to Boracay, and Boracay is here in the Philippines.
We should have known that the Philippines would have the two most beautiful islands in the world. Oh my goodness.
We went with MJ, who was my Miss Universe that I competed with from the Philippines. Yes. We just had a wonderful time. So many pageant girls, white beaches, turquoise water. It was wonderful.
And of course, being welcomed by amazing Filipino people. But I guess we should get back to business and talk about the preliminary competition.
Yes, the preliminary competition was hot. These girls were strong. They were strutting it. They were fierce. I cannot wait to see a little bit more soon.
Yes, absolutely everyone is raving about preliminaries. And who better than to give us some online reactions than our online correspondent, Janina Chan.
Hi guys, thank you so much for having me, Olivia and Nia. As we all know, the world, the Philippines, the internet is on fire because of our Miss Universe hype. The hype is realer than real, and I'm here, of course, to share these top trending stories that we have. Okay, so for our first trending topic, of course, all eyes are on Maxine Medina. You know, the pressure is on for her. Is she gonna get that back-to-back title? It's for you guys, what are your thoughts on this?
You know, I love Maxine. I helped judge Beanie Beanie, and she just radiates on stage, and she absolutely did the same at preliminaries. But it is a little tricky. But that being said, Olivia Culpo won in the USA, so in her home country. We've seen Venezuela do the back-to-backs, so it's possible. I don't want to count it out.
Awesome. How about you, Nia?
Absolutely, and when I actually got a chance to meet her, she was wonderful. So you want a Miss Universe to be someone that's kind, thoughtful, engaging, and caring to other people, and she was that person. And like you said, we've seen it happen with Venezuela, we've seen it happen with Olivia Culpo, so I don't think that it's out of the cards for her. It's very possible for sure.
All right, so next trending topic, we have Miss Canada, and right after her swimsuit preliminary, you know, there has been a lot of negative body shaming messages going online. What do you girls have to say about that whole shebang online?
I feel like there are so many beautiful women of all shapes, sizes, heights, religions, colors, everything, and it doesn't matter as long as you have that confidence. And we saw her on stage. She killed it with her confidence, and I'm very proud of her. I think she's going to do very well. And she also had a social media post saying how she's confident in who she is. She wants to represent her country in the best way possible. And she's all about self-love, not self-hate.
I love
Yes.
that, Olivia.
Yeah, I think it's so important to be more inclusive of different body shapes. You know, it doesn't require you to be a size 2 to be a beautiful woman. We all are beautiful in our own ways. And I love that Canada owns it, rocks it. She's stunning. I don't see anything wrong with what's going on, except that people are bashing on her. That's the one downside. And I hope that people will leave her alone because she's got confidence. Yes, absolutely.
I love it. Okay, so next trending topic. We have, of course, our 2 Miss Universe candidates here with me, but Miss USA for this year as well is actually from the Army. That is an amazing, powerful thing, very inspiring. What do you guys have to say about this?
Yes, I've loved seeing Deshauna just really show her strength, and she's been an incredible Miss USA to watch, and she performs so well and does great interviews. I've watched all of her interviews over the last 7 months of her reign, and she's always incredible, and I think it's been very inspirational to show a different side, that pageant girls aren't just one way. There's no stereotype. You can do anything, you can be anything.
Absolutely. Beauty can be strong, can be feminine, it can be all of those things at one time, and I love that about Deshauna. I actually come from an Army family, so I have like a little extra rooting for her, even because of that. But I feel like she is going to kill it. We already saw her slay in preliminaries, so we can't wait to watch her in finals. She's going to do amazing.
Okay, so moving forward, aside from our lovely candidates, we also know that Steve Harvey is back as a host once again for our Miss Universe 2016 pageant. Well, we all know what happened last year. What do you ladies have to say about this? You were both, I understand, there firsthand.
Yes.
Of course.
So you were there in person, like on
so.
stage.
On
And I
stage.
was there watching it, so I kind of got the whole overview
I
of
love it.
everything that was going on. I actually sat right behind his wife. And the minute that the wrong name was called, I was right behind the bullpen, which is like all the media, all the MUO staff and the IMG staff. So you saw them go crazy, picking up phones, making calls, like what's going on? And then, but you don't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden Steve Harvey comes back out on stage and my heart drops. I'm like, what is happening? But I'm glad that Steve Harvey's back. It really seemed like it was a genuine mistake, and I think he's gonna be an amazing host this year. But you were there on stage. How was that moment?
Yes, as maybe a lot of you have seen, I was standing next to Pia, and it was just the most surreal feeling ever. My stomach too just dropped, my heart sank. It was such a bizarre feeling when he came back on stage, like, what's going on? Like, what's wrong? And then as soon as I realized that he said I have to apologize, I was like, I'm standing next to Miss Universe. And it was a really cool moment for me to be able to look at her, and as this is all unraveling and her just being an absolute shock, of course, that I could turn to her and say, Pia, I think that you're Miss Universe. And she was the best Miss Universe. And so no matter the chaos of the moment that she found out that news, it all worked out, I guess, how it was meant to. And now maybe Steve Harvey can redeem himself. And I practiced really hard. No mistakes this year, Steve.
A personal message from our ladies to Steve Harvey. Okay, that is awesome. I'm sure he appreciates that. Let's move on to the preliminaries, of course. You know, many of us were watching at home. You know, tickets are scarce, but I'm so excited. I was really happy to have seen it. Thank goodness for fast internet, for PLDT Home Fiber. You know, for us watching at home, it was just amazing. Thank goodness for live coverages, right?
Right.
So let's move forward to our first category, which is the swimwear competition.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a lot of online favorites. Actually, I think up until now, the internet and these blog pageantry sites are crashing because everyone is just searching for their favorites and just seeing what really went down. So let's talk about, first of all, well, here, of course, Miss Philippines, Maxine Medina. That twirl was just amazing. She was just so refreshing and vibrant. What do you have to say about that?
She has a great presence on stage. I love her.
I love how she was killing it. But as we're talking about these favorites, can we talk about how there was 3 girls on stage at one time?
Yes, actually. So that is a big change.
That is a big change, and I was very against it from the beginning. I didn't like the fact that I felt like you wouldn't be able to have your own moment on stage to shine. But I actually don't mind it. Now that I saw it happening, I like that you have more stage time because you walk out, you're in the back, but then you come up to the front and you stay there. So you have all this extra time on stage that you normally wouldn't get. So I personally don't mind it for that reason, but there's other things that could kind of be negative that you mentioned.
Yes, I definitely see a lot of downsides to it, but I think in Maxine's case, she was shining when she was on stage. The crowd was going crazy, of course, as they should. And I definitely think she's in my top, and in swimsuits, definitely top.
Oh, she's killing it.
All right, next up we have Nicaragua's very simple red two-piece number, and also Miss Thailand's yellow bikini. Right. What do you have to say about these swim pieces in general?
Yes, the swim pieces, I like the style of the bathing suits, but for me, I like it when it's more uniform on stage. So there was a lot going on. There were prints, there was leopard, it was just a lot for me. I personally felt like it looked more like they were doing a beach photo shoot, which would have been nice. The swimsuits were nice for that, but I like to keep it clean on stage. Keep it like everyone be in the same suit, that way it's an even playing field.
All right. These beautiful women are all of different shapes and sizes and colors and everything, and I love the fact that they could pick something that flattered their skin tone. I feel like it was fun to kind of have that variety.
Perfect, love it. Seeing these new candidates, what do you have to say in general, first of all?
Well, we were talking about how the gowns were just stunning on stage, the jewels head to toe, and beyond that, their confidence. The way that they were walking and standing tall, they were killing it.
Of course, I'm gonna have to mention Maxine all the time, Philippines, but really, her jewel-toned emerald dress with, of course, all the fringe flowing.
The way it moved, way it moved was so
It was so unique. I have not seen something like that, and especially when you're a country that's following your, predecessor, right? That has, been the Miss Universe. You want to have something that doesn't necessarily resemble them. You want to stand out on your own.
It fully stood out, and it definitely was her own statement piece, because as we know, Pia created such a statement with her blue gown at finals. And so this was nice to see a whole different take on what an evening gown can be.
Okay, next we have Miss Venezuela with her surprise theatrics.
Yes, we have to talk about Venezuela's gown, because it was the crowd shocker of the night. You heard the entire crowd gasp, literally, and then a thunderous applause erupted. So it really was, it was a shocking gown, it was different, it was very, very bold, and you need that out of Miss Universe. You've got to be able to make strong, confident choices, so I liked it.
You sure do have to make bold choices. When she first walked out though, I was like, what is she wearing?
I love that. Honest opinion. Honest opinion.
I was like, no. And then she took it off, and I was like, what the heck is going on?
Really
that
part
was
of
the point, the shock factor and the attention, and people are still talking about it like we are. So she did a good job with that.
Yeah, she got our attention, that is for sure.
Okay, next up, moving forward, we have Miss Thailand once again. I think I'm gonna call this like the hybrid gown, because it's like everything. All silhouettes are there.
Right.
So what do you have to say about it?
It was a gown that had a lot of things going on, but for me, it wasn't as much of a standout that I would have wished. I think that she was beautiful, she is beautiful, she was fierce. There was nothing wrong with her presence, and it's not about the gown always, although this is what we're talking about, but it's about the presence. So her gown was good, but it wasn't amazing and mind-blowing for me personally.
I think it was an attention-grabbing dress, and that was maybe her intention in wearing it. And I thought it was beautiful, and it goes back to that it really is all about confidence, and she is confident. So I think it's not about the dress, even though we're talking about evening gowns. But it was a dress that got my attention, and then my attention actually went to her face, and her face is all confidence.
Okay, so third on the list for our evening gown competition, one person that really stood out as well, basing on the online hype, was Colombia. So what do you guys have to say about that?
I know we have differing opinions on this dress, but Colombia has been a front runner on both of our lists since even before she got here. She's strong. But for me, the dress, I have high expectations for Colombia. Ariadna's dress, Paulina's dress, they were phenomenal. They were like everything a dress in my mind should be. And then when she came out, I just didn't feel like it was figure flattering. While it was attention grabbing and it got me there, I just didn't feel like it showed how, curvy and sexy.
I love that.
You have to do this when you say curvy. But for me, it was distracting, and it didn't do anything for her body. So while it's a pretty dress, It was a no for me.
All right. How about you, Nia? Yes or no?
And we're so opposite with, because I actually love the dress because I feel like it represents a bit of her culture. If you look back at like Paulina Vega's national costume, it's one of their more traditional dress styles. And Colombia's dress has that kind of style. It's more of a traditional style. So I think it's kind of like a throwback to her culture, which I think is beautiful. And it still was flattering and it still was eye-catching. So I feel like if you have a chance to throw it back to your culture and you feel confident in it, why not?
I love it. We're moving forward to our traditional costumes. Yay! I think this is a favorite for, I think, everybody. So we have some favorites. This is also my personal favorite, turkey's dress.
Okay, it's now coming back to me, the reveal.
Yes,
it was
yes.
absolutely beautiful. I believe they did say it was hand painted, but it was a dramatic dress. You want something that's gonna capture the attention of people watching, and I feel like everyone that's competing is now pretty good at that with national costume, but to have some people walk out and their costume is all there.
Yes.
She walked out and she revealed even more, so I really like that about her.
Okay, so next up we are talking about Malaysia. A lot of love for Malaysia and her Petronas Towers cat suit.
Good fusion of past meets future. It was this sort of incredible, and it was a fierce female costume.
And next up, of course, as I said earlier on, we can't forget about Maxine.
Yes, well, I just loved that she had something going on with it. She had the movement of the pieces that you felt like almost kind of embodied like the beautiful islands and like the ocean waves, and then she had that beautiful headpiece, and I'm all about culture. I love culture, so anytime we can throw back to that, that's an amazing thing, and she did it so well.
Yes, and I just feel Maxine's national costume shows why Philippines is such a powerhouse in pageantry, because if you look back to Pia's costume and this costume, it brings the culture in while also being beautiful and looking very ladylike. I just think that they're so phenomenal, and it just makes you proud. It makes you proud of that country and makes you want to learn more, and so I think that's really what national costumes are all about, bringing a little bit of that culture, as Nia said. So I loved it.
I love it. Culture, heritage, and speaking of which, Myanmar's piece was the arts.
That was my favorite. That was my favorite. I was dying. Like oh my goodness, I can't even put it into words, but the fact that she did her like the traditional dancing from her country, but had it set up that she was like a puppet. Just, it was so unique, so beautiful, and so strongly cultural. It was an amazing just performance. It wasn't just walking out and presenting my national costume. It was a performance, and I love that she put a performance into it. And then she turned around and she's on the back, and so good.
Yes.
So good.
It was very bold and it was very risky, and as I just said, I kind of like the regalness of Pia and Maxine that the Philippines have brought, but I did love that I felt like I learned a little bit about her culture when she walked on stage and was able to take that risk and do something so different and so daring.
And that's it for me today. So this is what basically everyone's saying online and their favorites so far, and I can't wait to participate with the online hype during our coronation.
And thank you so much for being here. I just want to remind everyone, don't forget to connect with us on social media using the hashtags PLDTHomeFiber, PLDTMissYou. There's so many ways you can connect with us: live, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. So thank you for being our online social media correspondent. We've learned so much from you.
Olivia and Nia, thank you guys.
Thank you. And don't forget to stay tuned, because we're coming right back and we have a lot more Pageant Insider to come at you.